Hi folks, and now we're going to move on to video 21. I've been gone for several days because I've been talking to Sue and Kelly about some reprogramming issues involving making it easier, instead of having to use up one of your clusters in your project or VOMA screen for one of the various phases, we're going to be shifting things around so that it will be easier for you. Specifically, the fact that phase 1 and phase 2 are only differentiated by the fact that we want the graphics, which represent larger numbers in phase 2, to be unique for you, so that you don't, if you were to drill into everything in phase 1 and you ever wanted to go back and look at those graphics, for example, flower essences is phase 1, you're only targeting flower essences with this cross-theme cluster domain market share. And the total search market value, the organic market value, and the organic rank value are all going to reflect only this flower essence and none of the keywords drilled into it. Okay. However, when you're in a phase 2, and this is just a reiteration, in a phase 2 with 3 themes, see how many themes there are here, you're referring to everything and all keywords in that pile of themes and keywords in this. And that's something that you want to consider very carefully before showing the client phase 2. There's a couple of things that you can do within phase 2. You can see I've drilled into Edward Bach. Now, some of you have asked me the question. Let's see that Edward Bach has 27 interesting keywords. When I say interesting keywords, when I click on Edward Bach, interesting is default. And I want you to look at this here. When you show all keywords, okay, you're going to show everything, not just the interesting keywords. The ones that made the cut are above the waterline for you automatically. Remember in Theme Zoom 3.0 how many huge pile of keywords came up? Well, now we only give you the top like 50 or 100. Okay, if you show all keywords, you're going to have a whole lot more to deal with. Now beneath the waterline, that's below the last keyword that appears on the default screen tied to these themes, we have a algorithm uses market share, cost, and traffic to determine what and co-occurrence, determine whether or not that should appear. Don't take our word for it though. You can click show all keywords if you wish, and then you've got a whole ton of keywords, a whole slew of them. You can see that the market share is much less on some of these, 0.003, but again, it's all here. If you want to look through and it's kind of like an override when you click this. You click this again, it'll show only the interesting keywords. Now, interesting is presumptuous only in that it's interesting from a technical perspective based on our algorithm. You may be interested to go ahead and look through all of those terms. Now, my point about all this is these 27 or so interesting keywords are all part of the total mathematical calculation for the total search market value. So let's view themes for this cluster again. I know I've said this a few times, I just want to emphasize that. So the 27 is also included in this calculation. Now, if I were to delete this, this would drop to something like 6,000, okay? All right, so the decision you have to make when showing your client is whether or not you need to drill into each one of these, okay? If you've actually topically created your themes well enough in VOMA, you can always go back to your VOMA by View All Themes for Cluster. You can go back to your Flower Essences original VOMA, and you can go into your area of Dr. Edward Bach. Now, notice how we did not drill down into Edward Bach here. Okay, let me just go back here. Oh, yes, we did. There's 27. Now, if you've done enough work drilling into Edward Bach here, and you've already made all the connections and talked to your client about this, and you've made a nice notepad full of things, you may never need to drill into that, to drill into it on your phase 2. Okay, it's really up to you. And let's go back into phase 2 for Edward Bach. You may decide that when you show this to your client, you want to show only the primary themes in this topical group that you finally come up with. And that would change this significantly and lower the market share and the total search market value tied only to the words here. All you would do is just blow that away. And it does delete. Now, please ignore the fact that this number is inaccurate. This is a bug that we found. It's being fixed right now as we speak. Normally, it's sort of dropped down to something like 6,000 or something very small. Then just add the theme again. Click Create. Delete everything. We're still not using search engine improvement synonyms. Note to self. Continue. Choose the single synonym. You have it by itself. View themes for cluster. Now you have a phase 2 perfectly total search market value for this cluster and topic.